Welcome to News Pulse. I'm Esther. These are the headlines. Mamata Banerjee has won the Bhabanipur by-election with a record margin on Sunday with 58,832 votes. The West Bengal Chief Minister beat the BJP's Priyanka Tibrewal after 21 rounds of counting on Sunday. Her winning margin was 54,213 in 2011 and 25,301 in 2016. Amidst the ongoing factionalism within the Chhattisgarh unit in Congress, a big decision is expected around Navratri, sources said. The demand for a change of guard reared its head in Chhattisgarh after Baghel completed 2.5 years as Chief Minister in June 2021. The Narcotics Control Bureau has arrested Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan on Sunday after a marathon grilling. Junior Khan charged with consumption of drugs. Now for the news in details. The National Investigation Agency on Sunday raided multiple locations in Jammu and Kashmir in connection with unauthorized trade through line of control, which was purportedly being used to fund terrorism. With the assistance of Jammu and Kashmir Police, CRPF and ITBP conducted searches at 9 locations in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir at the premises of the suspected LOC traders in relation to the cross-LOC trade case, said an official spokesperson. The case was registered on December 9, 2016 by NIA under Section 17 of Unlawful Activities Act 1967 or UA Act. The LOC trade was started in the year 2008 as a part of confidence-building measure between Jammu and Kashmir and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or POK. It was based on barter system and third-party origin goods were not allowed. The instant case is related to the larger-scale transfer of funds from Pakistan to India through the import of California almonds and other items via the cross-LOC trade facilitation centers located at Salamabad in Uri area of Baramulla district and Chakandabag in Poonch district. These funds were purportedly being used for fomenting terrorism and separatism in Jammu and Kashmir, said the spokesperson. Investigation into the case revealed that some of the traders having excess imports were channelizing the surplus profit generated to terror organizations, while others are suspected to have links and connections with proscribed terrorist organizations. During the searches conducted on Sunday, documents, digital devices, and other incriminating materials have been recovered from the premises of the suspects, he said. Further investigation in the case continues. The Narcotics Control Bureau has arrested Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan on Sunday. This development came after raids were conducted by NCB officials on a cruise ship off the Mumbai coast where multiple people were detained for questioning after illegal drugs were recovered at a party. Lawyer Satish Mani Shinde, who will be representing Aryan Khan in this matter, has arrived at the NCB office in Mumbai. According to Times Now, Aryan has been arrested under Section 27 of the NDPS. Soon after his arrest, the star son was taken to JJ Hospital for a medical examination. Aryan Khan will be charged for the consumption of illegal drugs only. The investigating officials will continue to probe other possible angles to the case as well. The Amur Falcon Roosting Area Union Pankti Village has reopened for tourists from October after remaining shut for 2 years in view of the government's failure to provide infrastructural activities in Pankti Village. AFRAU in a press release stated that the union will strengthen to conserve and protect the Amur Falcons if the government provides basic amenities and infrastructural activities pertaining to the Amur Falcon within Pankti Village in the near future. Meanwhile, the union informed all the visitors to follow COVID-19 related protocols. Officials have been instructed to ensure that all the domestic, national and international tourists adhere to the norms. The union also informed that there will be only one entry point. Entry by boat, motorboat from Doyang Dam will be strictly restricted. Hunting materials and crackers will be strictly prohibited within the demarcated area. Every vehicle movement between Rapa Pen and roosting area will be strictly restricted from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and noisy vehicles, either two-wheelers or four-wheelers, as well as motorboats, will be restricted from 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's said that every groups of visitors will be provided one guide from the AFRAU with a charge of Rs 1,000 at one go. Visitors are asked to contact AFRAU for any homestay. Throwing of single-use plastic and waste materials within Amur falcon roosting area will be strictly prohibited. The AFRAU Pangti welcomes all the visitors who come to witness the roosting of Amur falcons in Pangti village, which is known as the falcon capital of the world. At least 19 civil service organizations have endorsed the 24 hours ban starting midnight tonight called by the JAC against the brutal murder of Athwana Bonmai. The proposed ban was supposed to begin from the midnight of September 29. However, it was deferred due to the proposal from a certain organization for the observance of Jana Neta Hijam Irabot birth anniversary. The ban will now come into effect from the midnight of October 3rd. The endorsement was declared during a press conference held at AMSU office inside the campus of DM University.
Home Minister neba, Manipur Kisi Minister neba, Maya program neba, Maduda Misa Mama Paraga Hatkiba Matamda, Karigumba Amata Haidana, Aduk Samba Matamama, Tamakanda, Siraga, Pangi Hadasi, Arta Segarino, Aduga Masakoina Tase, Makoina Nize Pagi Bakanda.
Madudi masi quick state subject ni dala sigi singko masi quick state ke subject tu dan nai da sino bai masi je sigi chu ke nai da sino haibu yauri adu quick state no shamba ya bo ni yamna thudi da.
The 19 CSOs that are extending support towards Band are AMKIL, Nupi Samaj, Tami Chingme, Nongpok Laigang Apunba Nupi Lup, Anul, Nimpal, Taubal, Umo, Tanil, Nipko, UPF, Mapi Council, Kada and others. Representing the CSOs, President of AMKIL, Laurimbam Ngangbi, said that the people of Manipur are suspicious of NSA and IM involvement in the killing of Athwana Bonmai, stating the inability of the state government to nab the killers of Abonmoy, who was abducted right in front of a myriad of security personnel from a venue of high-level outreach program at Tamenglong on September 22 last, only exposes its inadequacy. She added that the CSOs will support all initiatives of the JAC until the killers are penalized. If the killers are not booked instantly, of such cruelty would increase manifold. The state government should hold accountable if such a scenario arises, she cautioned. Asking if the centre, state government and the NSC and IM are conspiring backstage to eliminate all who stand for a united Manipur, Ngangbi asserted that the death of Abonmai is akin to the loss of life in army custody. What is the rationale for deploying army and paramilitary forces in Manipur if they can safeguard lives here? The AMKIL president questioned. Farmers' agitation, which is still going on against central government over for more than a year to withdraw 3 farm laws enacted by the government on September 2020, has attracted more than 30 cases registered against farmer protesters. Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Chani on Saturday argued the Railway Board chairman to withdraw cases registered against farmers protesters by Railway Protection Force. The members for different farmers organizations and unions had staged sit-in protests on railway tracks in Punjab and Haryana since 2020 and 2021. In this official communication by spokesperson of Chief Minister's office stated that the Chief Minister has impressed on the Railway Board to take a sympathetic approach of the matter and consider the withdrawal of cases registered against members of different farmer unions and organizations. In iterating the Rengma community's demand for a separate Siminyu district, the Rengma Selozi has launched a program called The Voices at the Kasha, Tupema Peace Treaty Camp, National Highway 61 on October 1st. The organization issued a statement explaining that the initiative is a democratic means of expressing the aspirations of the Rengma community in support of the demand for a Siminyu district, which is being led by the Rengma Hoho.
Flagship program, The Voices, depicting various voices from a wide spectrum of people voicing their concerns on a separate demand for a district for a Rengma people. This initiative is a democratic means of expressing our desire for a separate district, and it is an initiative in support of our Rengma Hoho's demand for a separate district, which has been put forward to the government of Nagaland. I appeal to our Naga people to come forward and lend their support in our demand for this genuine cause, and we wish the men in the power to expedite the fruition of the mini district into a reality.
The initiative was launched by Jonathan Meeson, Secretary of CRBCYD Zunpa, in the presence of Kenneth Kat, President of the Rengma Selozi, and representatives of Rengma Youths, the update stated. Speaking during the event, Meeson said that Siminyu becoming a district has been a long-cherished goal of every Rengma. If the community finds favor with God, they will definitely find favor from the people, he said. According to the statement, he urged the members present to remain steadfast in prayer in their quest for a district, and as part of the Voices program, banners and posters were also put up at various locations across Siminyu subdivision depicting various messages from people expressing their concerns and support for the creation of a separate district for the Rengma people, the statement informed. The People's Plan campaign on Gram Panchayat Development Plan and flagging of waste disposal vehicles were inaugurated on Saturday in Kohima, coinciding with celebration of Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary at the Directorate of Rural Development.
It's a very important program for every one of us. Today is the 152nd of birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, and it is befitting to celebrate his birthday and also launch our People's Plan campaign for preparation of our GPDP, because Mahatma Gandhi believed that the country, more power should be given to the Gram Panchayat.
Heavy rain in and around Amritsar on Saturday morning added to the woes of farmers who are left stranded in grain markets due to the postponement of paddy procurement by central agencies.
The rain started around 4:30 am in Amritsar and lasted till 7:30, inundating heaps of the produce waiting to be lifted at grain markets in Amritsar, including at Pagatwala Mandi, the largest in the district. Farmers struggled to save their crop by covering it with sheets. The centre on September 30 postponed paddy procurement in Punjab and Haryana to October 11 from October 1, citing high moisture content in the crop due to rain. We were already bound to sell our produce at prices lower than the MSP due to postponement of procurement by central agencies. The rain has further increased moisture level in the crop. As a result, private buyers will offer us much lower prices, said Gabal Singh, a farmer from Atari village, whose produce was affected by rain at the Amritsar grain market. Another farmer, Harjit Singh, said, "We brought the produce to the market to keep it under the sunshine for a few days so that it become free of moisture, but the rain has spoiled our plan." The rain also damaged the crop ready for harvest in the fields. Kuljit Singh Saini, Chief Agriculture Officer, Amritsar, said that the ripened crop has fallen flat in the fields. This untimely rain will not only affect yield and quality of the crop but also delay harvesting.
Naidu arrived in Guwahati today on the tour of the Northeast, beginning his trip by inaugurating the Heritage Cultural Centre on the banks of the river Brahmaputra. He also visited the museum at the centre and released a coffee table book, Forever Guwahati, on this occasion. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Sunday called for a powerful national campaign on the need to rejuvenate the country's rivers and suggested it should be done with a sense of immediacy. Noting that rivers have always been revered in India for their life-regenerating power, Naidu pointed out that growing urbanization and industrialization have led to pollution of rivers and other water bodies in different parts of the country. He observed that in the past, villages and cities used to be dotted with several water bodies, but in the quest for modernization, man, driven by greed, has destroyed natural ecosystems, and at several places, the water bodies have virtually disappeared or have been encroached upon. Naidu suggested to the centre and the state governments to include lessons on the importance of water conservation in school curricula. He also suggested that schools should conduct nature camps for students from a young age so that children, especially those living in the urban areas, see and enjoy the splendor of nature. The Vice President noted the legacy of the hillock, where the Heritage Centre is located, as the base camp of the most powerful Borpukan of the Ahom Kingdom, Lachit Borpukan. During the visit, Sri Naidu witnessed several sections of the centre like the art gallery, the central hall with the theme Life Along the River, and Marjali Corner containing famed masks, panel paintings and other artifacts. In other news, the Congress has been on news for quite some days over state's leadership crisis within the party in Punjab and Goa. Few days after Punjab and Goa Congresses found itself in crisis in Meghalaya within the party. In its effort to douse off the fire, the Central Leaders High Command of Congress is all set to meet Meghalaya Congress leaders, mainly former Chief Minister Dr. Mukul Sangma, on October 4th in New Delhi. Meghalaya state, which is to have by-polls in 3 assembly seats on October 30th, found itself divided into two between former Chief Minister and newly inducted State's Congress Chief Pala. Dr. Sangma alleged that he was not consulted to appoint Pala as State Unit President, and subsequently, Sangma skipped a program of an induction. Sangma, who met TMC leader Abhishek Banerjee on 21st September in Kolkata, got more of a speculation of him and along with his 13 MLAs of joining TMC. However, thrashing a speculation of joining TMC, Dr. Sangma, while speaking to a journalist in Shillong, said that he will be travelling to Delhi on Sunday to resolve any issues, and meeting with the TMC leader was only a courtesy call. India expects to hold a 13th round of talks with China on the Ladakh standoff and disengagement of military forces next week. Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Navarane said yesterday, while he added in the same breath that there has been an increase in the deployment of Chinese troops, which has been a matter of concern. For the last 6 months, however, the situation has been quite normal, he underlined. Chinese troops have been deployed in considerable numbers all across eastern Ladakh and northern front, right up to the Eastern Command. Definitely, there has been an increase in the deployment in the forward areas, which remains a matter of concern for us, he said. On achieving disengagement through dialogue, General Navarane said, by and by all friction points will get resolved. And he was of the opinion that they can resolve the differences through dialogue. I am hopeful we will be able to achieve results. We are hopeful of having the 13th round of talks in the second week of October and reaching a consensus on how disengagement will take place. On Friday, the General took stock of operational preparedness in eastern Ladakh. With crude oil rates softening in the international market, prices of petrol and diesel in domestic markets have stabilized. There has been no increase in the prices of petrol and diesel in Bhopal since July 17, which prices of petrol had risen by 30 paise while diesel prices had remained unchanged. But petrol prices stabilizing at Rs 110.27 per litre and diesel at Rs 98.72 per litre for a fortnight has not lifted the morale of Bhopalis. I was not aware that prices of petrol and diesel have not risen since July 15, once the petrol price went beyond Rs 100 per litre and went on increasing further, with neither the state nor the central government ready to cut taxes levied on fuel.
सर पेट्रोल महंगा हो गया सर, अब हालत तो क्या करें, अब सर चलाना तो मजबूरी है आदमी की, काम भी करना पड़ेगा, पेट्रोल भी डलवाना ही पड़ेगा सर। कितना असर पड़ रहा है जी सर? कितना असर पड़ रहा है सर? असर तो खूब पड़ेगा ही, असर तो पड़ेगा ही सब, गरीब आदमी भी तो पड़ेगा ही सब, हम जैसे लोगों को तो पड़ना ही चाहिए। सरकार से यही चाहता हूँ कि सर पेट्रोल के दाम कम कर दिए जाए.
Over 88.14 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far through the centre's free of cost channel and direct state procurement category. The Union Health Ministry said on Saturday that more than 5.28 crore unutilized vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories. A total of 88 crore 14,50,515 vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far through the government's free of cost and direct state procurement category. The union government is committed to accelerating the pace and expanding the scope of COVID-19 vaccination throughout the country, it said. The vaccination drive has been ramped up through availability of more vaccines, advanced visibility of vaccine availability to states and union territories for enabling better planning by them and streamlining the vaccine supply chain, the ministry said. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the government has been supporting states and the union territories by providing them with COVID-19 vaccines for free. Textiles businesses' failure in COVID time. In Kerala, all textile shops are running without businesses. COVID-19 affected this business for about a year. All textile shops have been closed and now the shops are open but no sale because of COVID. People who are not ready for shopping. The shop owners are in trouble because they have to arrange salaries, rent, electricity bill and tax. Online dress business is a main threat to them. The other threat they are facing is Kerala government's new taxation to them, and they asked the centre and the state government to give financial help and withdraw new taxation.
Very slow, and the existence also in a critical situation. Due to COVID, this year all shops are closed and the government policy also against the business group. Comparing last year, we can't get any money transfer from the government or any financial institution. Further, GST Council introducing tax rate 5% to 12%, along with the increase of cost of production. That cost of production will increase somewhat 10 to 30%. So the situation about the textile is a very critical situation is going.
That's all for News Pulse. I'm Esther. Keep watching Hornbill TV.